Part 3. Who did I go to Vegas with? And I want to preface this by saying the people that are trying to find the video, do not do that. That is not the point of this video. And I initially posted this just to share my POV from honestly a situation that was super traumatic. And if this can save one person that's contemplating going on a girls trip with people they might not know as well, then let this be your sign. Like I said in the previous video, there is so much tension between all 4 of the girls. It honestly feels like it is an episode of Bad Girls Club. It is Pebbles and Cousin versus me and Bestie. I would like to add that I did suggest to Pebbles, if you don't want to go home, maybe we should go to the hospital if you feel like something has been done to you, which is not right. Pebbles declined that offer. And everyone is an adult. I cannot force anyone to do something that they do not want to do. With that being said, we all decide that we want to go to a day party that morning. But I'm still feeling a little bit frustrated because Pebbles is still on Instagram Live. So we all 4 walk as a group to the rideshare pickup area of our hotel to go ahead and head to the next location. Pebbles and Cousin are walking a little bit ahead of me and Bestie, and I get a call from a no caller ID on my personal number. Sir, and I hear a voice of a man on the phone, and he is saying, "Why the is your friend on Instagram Live trying to lie on me?" What? And then it all clicks in my mind. I had given my number to Rapper's manager the night before because they wanted to hang out with us all weekend. And I did this strictly so our accommodations could be conveniently set up for the remainder of the trip. Rapper is on the phone going in on me. He's saying he knows what hotel we're staying at. So I'm sitting on the phone listening to him go off on me, and I'm just like, huh? Simultaneously, as I'm being cussed out by the rapper on the phone, Bestie is watching Pebbles on Instagram Live, and her mom are still talking about the situation. Pebbles' mom is saying stuff like, well, why the you were with not sticking up for you, they left you for dead, they don't give a F about you, yada, yada, yada. Which is completely untrue. I am so overstimulated and I am so overwhelmed. I grab Bestie and I tell her, we are having our own separate trip at this point. I cannot take it anymore. Mind you, this is at the rideshare pickup in front of everybody. Pebbles and Cousin are in the Uber watching me say this to Bestie. So I'm trying to explain to Pebbles is like, yo, you are doxing our location. Like, you continuously going on Instagram Live. What if Rapper had somebody come and jump us? Anything could happen. So like, you are escalating the situation more than it needs to be. So of course, nobody's trying to hear me. So once we pull up to the day party, what do me and Bestie do? Honestly, we leave Pebbles and Cousin because they are not complying with the program. They eventually decide that they are actually going to leave the day party and go do their own thing. Me and Bestie stay at the day party and we enjoy our whole day. Me and her have no issues. Cousin is starting to feel bad though at this point after they leave the day party because she's texting me saying, hey, I'm sorry about everything that's going on. We decided to go here. I'm gonna get Pebbles together and I want to try to make amends so that we can salvage the rest of this trip together. If you know me, you know I love Cousin down. She's like my little sister, so I can't stay mad at her for too long. I instantly text back and I say, okay, I'm fine with it. Let's all talk about it as a group when we all get back to the hotel later that night. All 4 of us get back to the hotel room and we have a serious heart-to-heart discussion about everything that transpired over the weekend so far. We come to a decision that we are going to let everything go and start fresh. Pebbles makes a promise to all of the girls that she is going to control the amount of time she spends on Instagram Live. I am not trying to tell her she cannot go on live at all to share her story, but at the same time, you cannot show their locations we are at because you are making it very unsafe for all of us here. She also makes a promise saying that she is going to reel her mom back in because her mom is still talking about the situation on Instagram Live. Pebbles' mom was also tagging us in posts trying to send a lot of hate towards me and Bestie because she thinks that we were not helping her the way that she should have been helped, making me feel really uncomfortable because I'm not going to sit here and argue with somebody's mom. Next morning, we decide to go out again, all 4 of us, and the vibes are completely different. Everyone's getting along. Pebbles actually comes through and she hooks us up with the free cabana, our own booth, food, drinks, bottle service, the whole 9 yards. And she got this through her friend, DJ. DJ is a code name. We are going to be protecting DJ's identity as well. Pebbles is vouching for DJ, saying, oh, he's good people, we go way back, we've been friends for years, right? And as day becomes night, DJ suggests that he wants to get all 4 of us a booth so that we can all go out together later that day. For me, there were zero red flags at this point. We are all enjoying each other's company and we all go back in the truck to our hotel together. The only thing that I thought was a little bit strange in the moment was that DJ did not leave the hotel while we were getting dressed. He actually brought clothes with him from the day party to our hotel to get dressed with us. And Pebbles didn't really ask us if it was okay. He just kind of invited himself up. I didn't really speak on it because the room was big enough to where they could be on a separate wing and me and Bestie were on the other side. So I didn't really have to interact with them when I'm getting dressed. DJ stays true to his word and he gets us a really great booth at the club that we went to that night, and we had a great night, all 5 of us together. So all 5 of us go back to our hotel, and I just still thought it was weird that DJ is still with us. I would have thought that because he lives in Vegas, he would just go home, right? Unfortunately, Bestie is leaving that same morning. She had to leave a day earlier than all 3 of us. I'm staying an additional day with Cousin and Pebbles. In my mind, there is no more beef between all of us. We have squashed it and we have had a good weekend despite the first night being so awful. For our last night, I kind of just wanted all 3 of us to go out to dinner, do something chill, just have like a really fun final girls' night all together. But we get to the point where it's time to make our plans, and Cousin and Pebbles decided that they actually want to stay in the room for the final night and hang out with the 2 guys that they met over the weekend. So Cousin had somebody and Pebbles had DJ, leaving me as the 5th wheel. That is completely not my vibe, but me being the team player that I am, I'm like, you know what? You guys go ahead and have fun. I'm gonna find my own solo mission to do. And I decide I'm gonna go downstairs and have dinner and just enjoy the vibes by myself. I'm enjoying dinner by myself at the bar, and I see some OGs that I know who are professional gamblers at the casino where the restaurant's at. And they see me by myself and they're like, oh my God, like you gotta come with us. You gotta come with us to the table. We're gonna teach you how to play, yada, 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 right? I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm by myself. Like y'all teach me how to play. Maybe I'll win some money. And that's exactly what happens. They take me to the table. They're trying to teach me how to play dice. And instantly I hit $500 within the first 5 seconds I'm standing there. And the OGs I'm with, they're teaching me how to do it, so I just keep hitting, right? I'm having so much fun. I didn't realize that like 3 or 4 hours had passed and I was still standing at the table. Damn, I'm getting tired, and I have a flight within like 6 hours, so it's time for me to go upstairs and go to bed. So the OGs I'm with, they show me how to cash my chips. I won about $3,000, so I'm so excited. Everyone's hyping me up. I take my money, put it in my purse. I get in the elevator to go back upstairs to my room. I run into my room where my cousin is at. She's sleeping, and I'm shaking the hell out of her. I'm like, girl, I just won $3,000. Like, girl, you should have came with me. You would have won too. We would have been all up. She just is kind of like, oh, I'm so glad. You know, we have a flight early in the morning, but, you know, let's talk about it tomorrow, right? But I could not fall asleep at this point. I was just very excited and had so much energy. So I go in the living room and I'm just making funny videos to myself, and I'm just having the money that I won and I'm throwing it up in the air, just making silly videos for myself. I take my earnings from the night, I put it in my purse. I also had maybe an additional $900 with me that was for spending while we were on the trip. But what I didn't clock was that DJ was still in the room with Pebbles asleep. And how loud I was telling Cousin about my money situation, I instantly kind of felt a little bit uncomfortable. Just to show you guys exactly what I did, I had this bag. I put the cash inside of this bag and I wrapped the chain around my bag, like so. I take this same purse and put it in my bathroom near the sink in my bedroom and shut the door. I immediately knock out and I'm not even thinking about this anymore. I wake up the next morning and Pebbles, Cousin, and DJ are all gone out of our hotel room. But when I look at my phone, Cousin is explaining to me via text that she and Pebbles left early that morning and they didn't want to wake me up because their flight was a little bit earlier than mine. As we are on the phone, I check my Instagram DMs and I have a bunch of messages from DJ. He sent me about 5 or 6 messages saying that he left his wallet and his ID at our hotel room and that he would like to come back to the room to come pick it up. I tell him that's absolutely fine, and naturally I look around the hotel to see if I can find his wallet for him before he gets back to the room. I'm on the phone with Cousin at this point and I'm just talking about the trip and our day. When I walk out of my room, I go into the kitchen and I see my purse sitting on the kitchen counter, sitting completely open. When I look inside, what had previously been more than $3,000 had less than $5. This is all happening while I'm on the phone with cousin. And DJ is still blowing up my phone at this point, saying that he's outside and he needs to enter the room to look for his ID. Cousin adds Pebbles to a two-way call and we're all three on the phone together. While I'm talking, I'm also tearing up our hotel room, the couches, the bed, everything to see if I just dropped the money somewhere in the hotel. Pebbles starts trying to tell me maybe you lost it in the elevator. Comment down below if you ever lost $4,000 in an elevator. As I'm telling this story time to Pebbles and cousin on the phone, DJ blocks me on Instagram and my text messages, despite saying that he was outside of the room knocking on the door, wanting to come in to find his wallet. And Pebbles starts sticking up for DJ, saying, well, why would DJ try to steal your money? He's not like that. He has his own bread. You need to stop trying to accuse people that you might have lost. Again, who has ever lost $4,000 in an elevator? And if DJ did not take my money, why would he instantly block me as soon as I start telling you what happened? While I'm sitting in this beat up ass hotel room because I just tore everything up at this point, what comes on the speaker playing music? Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. That was my final straw. I leave my hotel room broke, busted, disgusted, and head to the airport by myself, leaving with $0 that I brought with me on this trip. I get home and I make a vow that I will never speak to Pebbles ever again in my life. And I still never have, despite Pebbles and her mom messaging both me and my parents harassing us because I'm sharing my truth of what happened to me on this trip. Me and cousin also fell out for more than a year and I ended up not even going to her graduation party, which was the whole point of us even initially going on this trip in the first place. With that being said, this is the final part of who did I go to Vegas with? And if you are on the fence deciding if you want to go on a girls trip with girls you might not know as well, let this be your sign to stay home.
You finally decenter men and you start having conversations with them, you start to see just how unimpressing the conversation is with them. You get to see just how hypersexual they are. You get to see how literally, when the older people be telling y'all that all they want is one thing, that's all they think about all the time, you literally start to see and hear it. I don't know how I didn't see it before, but I mean, I guess like when I was younger, I was curious because they just made it seem like sex was such a big deal and such a bad thing to do, but it's just a natural thing. Everybody has their little freaked out stages, and it's gonna happen. You just gotta make sure you're with a equally yoked partner. That's it. It's just literally a part of life. Everybody goes through it. Y'all, I was out this weekend and I was at like this old head function or whatever with my dad's fraternity. They were throwing a party, so I went and I kid you not, like I'm in my 20s now, so I was around people. They was like in their 30s. They was about my age, a little bit older. They was in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and above. You know the old heads. And I kid you not, like each and every age group, they all said the same thing in like fucking different fonts. It was one old ass man. He like screamed at me from across the room when I was walking in. He was like, I just love the way you walking and how that fat ass moves. And then there was this other guy that was like a little bit younger, about closer to my age. He came up to me and my cousin. He was like, yeah, me and my frat brothers, we've been watching y'all since yesterday. That's not creepy, right? And then one of my dad friends had came up to me and we was talking about school or whatever, just different programs. And then like out of nowhere, he asked me, he's like, you single? And I'm thinking like, nigga, my daddy right here. Like, are you cool? But no, he was like, you know what, that don't even matter. I know I got a big dick. It's just so jarring and sad to see like they literally do not change as you get older. Like that's all that goes through the brain. When they say that, that's what they mean. I hope this helps a little bit. they don't really think about nothing else. They don't think about holding their friends down, taking care of their family at least. At least it's not as consistent as the constant desire for some new cat. That's just what I've learned thus far into my research, and it's fascinating. Like, somebody could be that obsessed with sex, and there is like, at least last time I looked at the stats, maybe an 80% orgasm gap between heterosexual couples. It's astounding.
Let me explain girl math in the service industry. So, today I was not scheduled to work, but I picked up a shift, okay? So that money is free to spend because I wasn't supposed to get that money anyway. You know, like, so money that I spend, as long as, like, so say I spent $70 and today I make $170. I actually made $100 because the 70 is poof gone. Like, it doesn't really matter. You're still, like, gaining. Like, I wasn't supposed to get that money anyway, so it's okay. Like, it's literally not existent. Like, it's just not existent. With that being said, let's do a haul. So my nails have been crusty dusty for a few days now because they just get super sore when I rip fake nails off. So I had to get a set of those, and they have zodiac ones, and this is a Capricorn. I'm not a Capricorn, but whatever. They're green. So fucking cute. And I couldn't really decide, so I also got these, like, brownish black. I don't know. Then I heard good stuff about this Super Stay skin tint because I want a skin tint. So I was trying so hard not to buy, like, Fenty or Rare Beauty, and just got a drugstore one. This is Holy Grail for my eyebrows, and I have the big one at home, but I wanted a mini one because it's cuter. I know that sounds literally insane, but it's fine. Like I said, this money was free anyway. Then I got this lip combo. I've never used the Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury, but they said that this was a dupe, this combo. So, I don't know. We're going to try it. I've been trying to, like, do more combos. I've been trying to, like, use lip liner more. This is the NYX Retractable in Nude, I think. And then this is the L'Oreal Intense. I don't know. It says Intense 173. I feel like there's a name for it. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I would get on here and explain some more girl math for everybody. Okay, bye.
One of the first to say that I am tired of dating advice on TikTok, on social media, everywhere. Like, it's literally exhausting. And even as somebody who's made a lot of videos talking about dating, I want to share the ways in which I've learned to decenter men from my life while dating, but to mainly decenter them. So if I'm meeting somebody new, I don't like save their phone number, and I do not like to text constantly throughout the day, especially if we haven't met, simply because that can create a false sense of intimacy. This is coming from somebody who's overcoming an anxious attachment style, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't vet the person. I'm not saying that. But I do think it's important to honor your boundaries, and that is something that I've had to learn how to do because I wouldn't always know how to do that, especially in the beginning stages of dating. Next one would be, you don't have to always honor their feelings more than yours. For example, I went on a date 2 weeks ago, and there wasn't anything necessarily wrong with the date or him. I just didn't feel a connection. And even though he was really interested and I can tell that he wanted to go on a second date, I'm not going to go on a second date because he wants to go on one. And I'm not going to prolong this first date, just because I can tell he's interested in me. Like, in the past, that is something that I would have done simply because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, you know? And at the end of the day, who's the one suffering? Me. This next one I'm a little bit embarrassed to share, I'm not gonna lie. But it is basically going out with the hope, I guess you can say, that I will meet somebody. Oh, it's so embarrassing. I don't know why I feel so ashamed to say that, but you know, just going out and thinking, oh, like, I wonder, you know, might meet somebody at Trader Joe's, might meet them at the coffee shop. That would just be something at the forefront of my mind. And girl, no. And my next one, you're probably gonna be like, Kyra, obviously, duh. But it caught me by surprise, okay? Like, I didn't expect to fall for it. I've talked about this before, like, I would put somebody on a pedestal, especially if I felt like they were more established than me in their career, financially, if they were older than me. And in my little Delulu mind, I'm thinking, oh, you know, he's older, he's doing all these things, he's gonna treat me better. No. Last one might be to consume less dating content, like I said in the beginning, less advice-based dating content, because I think it's one of those things where, what is it called, like analysis paralysis, where you were just consuming so much information on one topic and you're analyzing it, you're not doing anything with that information. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it's called, right? I've been listening into ideologies about dating that weren't something that I truly resonated with, but subconsciously I would start to believe it because I see it so much. And I'd have to sit back and ask myself, Kara, like, is this something that you actually believe in? Is this something that matters to you, that you care about? If I've shared anything that you may already know, for me, I believe that sometimes you just have to go through things to really learn from them, and then you don't make the same mistakes. I don't hate men and I don't hate dating, but I do think it's important to decenter them sometimes, okay? Love ya.
The best advice that I can give any woman, I'm not even going to put an age on it, any woman in this lifetime, is to decenter men from your life. And I mean completely decenter them. Don't entertain them. Don't focus on them. Don't prioritize them. Quite literally, act like they're non-existent. Instead of focusing on men, focus on prioritizing yourself. Go to the gym, eat right, buy yourself flowers, buy yourself nice things, go on solo dates, take yourself on trips, get in your Bible, sis. Like, go to church, establish a good community within women, sisterhood. What I'm saying, figure out your hobbies, what you do and don't like. Spoil yourself, love yourself, be graceful to yourself. Because I read a tweet not too long ago and it resonated so well, so I feel like y'all need to hear it too. I can't remember what she said verbatim, but she said something along the lines of, I'm going to take you as seriously as you take yourself. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to take you as seriously as you take yourself. And I don't think a lot of people take that seriously. Like, y'all take that too light. If you think about it, people only play with you when they feel like you're playable. So when people see that you show up for yourself and you love yourself, you don't play about you, they know that they're going to have to meet you on that same level. People are going to know they can't approach you on no bullshit, right? And I say this because I have been single for 4 years. 4, by choice. I have not taken anyone super serious for 4 years because I cannot tell y'all how many men approach me in today's day, right now. They say, I'm so attracted to you. I want to experience you. I want to be a part of your life. But I know you're one of those women that I cannot play with. I see that you show up for yourself. You're a very well put together woman, well-rounded, mentally and emotionally. I know I just cannot play with you. I have to get on my shit, basically. Get on my shit and stay on my shit before I even approach a woman like you. To me, I don't too much care for compliments from men, but that's one of the only compliments that I actually like, because I'm glad you know I don't play that shit. And I'm glad you know you can't play with me. But you see, I had to do the outer work and the inner work in order for men to see that type of complex within a woman like myself. Any woman can do it. It's just you have to sit down and really focus on you. Again, when you focus on yourself and you prioritize yourself, it's going to make it very hard for people to even approach you and feel comfortable playing with you. Because I'm one chance Nance for real. You one fuck up, you got to go. You getting the fuck on from around me.
I'm not gonna lie, I was very confused at first when women kept saying to decenter men. I did not know what that meant, and I will say I'm very marriage minded. I really want to be in a relationship, and so to me, just the sound of that was like a hell no to me. But this morning, I kind of finally understood what it meant to decenter men. I mean, I woke up this morning and the first thought of my mind, I know, big back energy. I was like, you know what I really want? I want a Southern soul food dinner, fried chicken, candy yams, macaroni and cheese. And I'm from South Carolina. I live in Charlotte, and to me, there's nothing better than South Carolina soul food. And I'm like, I'll just make it myself. Anytime I want soul food, I just make it myself. And so I've been dating this guy for 2 months now, and he's African. And I know he had said that he had never had like authentic like soul food before. And so I'm like, I would love to cook it for him since I'm craving it. And so I texted him, and I'm like, when am I going to see you again? And he's like, oh, probably maybe tomorrow or sometime during the week. And I'm just like, because I kind of want to eat. I kind of want to make it today. And so I get ready to text back like, okay, well, I want to make you a soul food dinner, so I'll just wait until you get here. And then I stopped to think, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? As a woman, when I start to like a man, I start to schedule everything around this man. If I have plans this day, but he can only meet me this day, I'll meet him and cancel my plans. Or I schedule my whole week around when I'm going to see him and what days work better for him. And that is why I need to decenter men. Because if I don't put my own needs before other people, no one else is going to put my needs before theirs. No one else is going to do that. So it is actually very detrimental to me, because when you end the relationship, now you've completely lost your identity, because everything that you have done has been scheduled around his needs and his desires. I craved soul food. I'm cooking it. I'm buying it. Why would I not buy it until he can come over and eat it? That is ridiculous. And men do not do this. If a man, wants to go to a movie with you and you can't go on that day, he's not going to be like, okay, I'll just not go to the movie. He's just going to go. Maybe he goes with someone else, but he's going to go. They do not schedule their whole lives around what you want to do or what your schedule is. And I think the reason that my relationship's always end and that God hasn't sent me the man of my dreams yet is because I always end up making the man my God. I always end up saying I'm counting on him. Well, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but I know such and such will help me. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I know he'll help me. Oh, I'll just ask such and such. Instead of my first thought, which should be, let me pray to God and ask God about this and ask God about his help, everything becomes about that man. I begin to idolize this man and his potential, because it's never who he really is. I begin to idolize his potential over Jehovah. And I honestly think until I learn to stop doing this, God will never send me the man that he wants me to have. And another downside to this is then I start to expect the same thing of the man that I'm doing. So I start to expect him to schedule his life around me and to make me his priority and to always think of me when he's doing something before he thinks of himself. And that's not fair to him, because he should not be doing that. And I myself should not be doing that. No one should be doing that. And so I get disappointed at his actions, and I end up thinking this isn't the man for me. But really, honestly, he might have been the man for me. I was just expecting these ungodly, unrealistic standards from him because I myself do it. And doing the right things, all the right things for the wrong man, is so much worse than just being alone. Whenever you feel yourself starting to get into this mindset of doing all these things for a man and making a man's life better, instead put that energy back into yourself and make yourself better, because you will respect you more, and surprisingly, he will also respect you more. Because at the end of the day, if he wanted to eat my dinner, he would have came over today. At the end of the day, if he wanted to see me, he would have came over today. So there's absolutely no reason why I should shape my plans around him coming over or not coming over. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But that isn't going to change anything that I have planned or anything that I want to do.
Decentering men is not about not interacting with men. It's more about managing your expectations with men. It's about realizing that most of the men you interact with are not going to be that guy. And if he's giving unserious energy, just simply match the energy and get what you can get out of the situation and enjoy yourself. Separate yourself from the outcome of this man, because the outcome for you is irrelevant. The only way the outcome becomes relevant is if he makes it relevant. I'm going to give you an example. You can have consensual, safe relations with men and take them unseriously because that's how he's acting. But if this man behaves differently, then you can move him out of that unserious category and into a considerate category. That's what it means. Just manage your expectations around these men.
Decenter men and focus on yourself. Okay? Love will find you. You're not too late. You're not running out of time. Your person is out there. The person you are in line with is out there waiting to find you at the right time. Don't try to force love simply because you want it that badly. It's not good for you. You're wasting your beautiful energy on people who don't deserve you. You got to give that energy first to yourself. You have to be in line with yourself first in order to align with who you're meant to be with. Otherwise, how you going to know? How you going to know who it is? How you going to know who it is if you don't know yourself well enough? So focus on you. Decenter men, decenter dating, whoever it is that you date. Don't make that the primary focus of your life. Make loving yourself your primary focus. It will make your life 1,000,000 times better. And your person that's meant for you, you'll be able to identify them much more quickly.
Today, I'm going to be explaining girl math to my dad. We're gonna think I'm so stupid.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's start with number one. You know how I get Starbucks sometimes and it has an app you can preload money onto it?
Mm-hmm.
So if I have money already on my Starbucks app, when I go to get it, it's basically free and I didn't spend any money.
Really? Really? It's free? How'd you come up with that one?
If I pay with cash, it's basically free.
Dude, حمارة. Honestly, بالعقل. Go ahead.
If something's less than $5, it's free.
Sure.
If I buy something, like let's say I bought a pair of shoes, but I didn't like how they fit and I returned it, I made money by returning it.
Dude, habla.
I should have brought mom in here. She'd agree with me.
Dude, she probably would. This is what you guys do to me, and then you try to justify it somehow. I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
So let's say I'm going to like a dinner with like 5 of my friends, and I put my card down to pay, and everyone Venmos me later on, like their share of it.
You what?
I made profit off of that.
I just don't understand why I'm even here to listen to this.
Okay, so let's say I constantly rebuy this product, but one time I go back to rebuy it and it's on sale. If I don't buy it on sale, I'm losing money.
Okay.
Does that one make sense?
Not really.
Okay.
What the hell is this?
Monthly payments make things cheaper. You know how I went and bought a new computer and it's on monthly? So half of it's like monthly?
Yes, so it doesn't even exist, right?
No, I got it for cheaper.
Oh, you got it much cheaper, yes. 0% interest over 12 months,
Not
then
opening...
you got it for the same price.
Last one.
Yeah.
Not opening my bank
Sure,
makes me not have to pay anything.
It's your credit, not mine.
That one was a joke, but...
Can you open these? I've asked you to look through
open them. It just stresses me out. That's girl math. That's how I do my math.
I don't even get what you said. None of it made any sense.
That's how my brain works when I'm spending money.
Obviously, we have failed as parents. Okay,
mean,
it's not a joke anymore because you and your mom, you sound the same. I don't want to hear it anymore. That was really stupid.
Thank you.
No,